But now moving on to back then when you were studying chemical engineering, back to your education days. You went to the University of Gujarat. The University of
Yes.
Gujarat does have a very famous and a very renowned chemical engineering department. Uh, how was the workload while you were studying at that university?
Yes, it was quite a heavy workload for many of the students. Yes, uh, we had our classes, the practicals, the lab times, as well as the studying the research paper and research article that what is going on these days in the research and development industry. And beside that, we had the coursework, including our subjects, theoretical exams, quizzes, assignments, and all of the presentation stuff. So it was quite like a roller coaster ride for
Mhm.
many of us, and we had many challenges during our study. Not the challenges in terms of that those kind of the financial challenges, but not
Mhm.
it is the challenges that are in terms of the subject. We
Mhm.
had some quite interesting subjects, including the fluid mechanics, the heat transfer, and the thermodynamics. And we
Mhm.
had quite some challenging subjects for as a student, such as plant design. Plant design is a very
Mhm.
complex phenomenon, and it includes all the application of the major basic core subjects of chemical engineering in generalized to develop a new plant for any process or any product development. And usually it composed of 4 year degree program in Pakistan. Here we had first we have to take it some entry test. It is the
Mhm.
requirement of different universities. For government, public sector universities and private university, government conducts a test. That's the test that is called the ECAT, Engineering College Admission Test, conducted
Mhm.
by our Punjab government. It's a province of Pakistan. And then students are selected on the basis of merit, that seats or the admissions are provided to the candidates on the basis of merit in different universities. So yes, I was selected as a student of chemical engineering, and I got admission in University of Gujarat. If I was lucky enough that I got admission in my hometown university, and luckily I went there. And during the 4 years, we had some basic startup of courses. First of all, in first year, most of the courses was like introduction to the chemical engineering. What is
Mhm.
chemical engineering, including the mathematics, the fundamental mathematics, which is highly required for the chemical calculations. And then we had some industrial chemistry, chemical like stoichiometry, the stoichiometric concept, the material and energy balances. And then we moved on to chemical process industries in our second semester, and courses like fluid mechanics, heat transfer, thermodynamics came into the party,
Mhm.
and we had to face all of them. And during the third year, we had started some university projects, which we called as semester project or lab reports. We submitted to our respective supervisors and teachers for the projects. There had there there was some competition type between the student, including the development of new projects, some lab assignments, some research paper studying phenomena, because the research culture is
Mhm.
growing very enormously in University of Gujarat nowadays. And recently, some of our teachers got published their papers in some renowned journals with good impact factor
Mhm.
scores. So yes, it is a
Mhm.
quite honor for all of us. And during the final year, we had some plant design projects. As far as my final year project was concerned, it was on the production of nitric acid by concentration of nitric acid by ammonia rectification process.
Mhm. Amazing. It truly sounds like a roller coaster ride, just like you said in the very
Yes,
beginning.
of course, of
Uh,
course.
exactly. But if I was just to follow up on what you said regarding the challenging subjects that you have to study, and everyone knows that chemical engineering does have very difficult subjects. To name a few that you mentioned, transport process, thermodynamics, and so on. Do
Yeah.
you have any tips for any of the other graduates that might be facing similar trouble with these topics? Like if you were to share how were you able to overcome the difficulty of these subjects?
Yes, during my bachelor study, I faced some difficulty in thermodynamics subject. So
Mhm.
I had some difficulty in facing the heat transfer rate for transfer of heat with the mechanism of the cycles. And
Mhm.
usually it was like a heavy course or a heavy dose for me. So I
Mhm.
used to watch the YouTube animation videos for them.
Mhm.
There are a lot of chemical engineering channels that are available, which elaborates the core topics very
Mhm.
concisely. And yes, a student can learn from YouTube animation, as well as there were some few literature notes available in local language of Pakistan, which is Urdu or Urdu. So
Mhm.
I studied a few notes from them of our undergraduate students in terms of those who are studying in Urdu medium. And the difficulty which I faced was actually about the understanding of the topic, like in term, yes, I can say that there is a Brayton cycle, and generally a chemical engineering student consider it that it is not of his own code because it involves some mechanical process in the system. Then we can say that when there was a mechanical process involved, most of the students consider that it is not their subject, but we have to study that particular topic as well because we have to pass the exam. And
Mhm.
for that, I watched the YouTube lesson animation as well as some free online courses. Platforms are available at my time, and we can watch from them. So if a student is facing a problem in particular subject, he can first consult with his teacher who is teaching that subject to the university class. Or first, he should consult with him. If he is not relying, or if the teacher is not helping him out, he should move to the YouTube. YouTube is the best
Mhm.
teacher nowadays.
Exactly. I fully agree. YouTube is you can literally find anything on YouTube nowadays. So you're
Yeah.
very right. So for the graduates that are about to apply for chemical engineering, if you could tell us like what should they be aware of and what is the level of skills in physics and maths they should have before they apply for chemical engineering?
Yes, one should be good enough in subjects like physics and mathematics. There's not
Mm-hmm.
an extraordinary skill is required for these chemical engineering, particularly. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I talk about mechanical engineering side or electrical engineering side, you have to study physics in depth, in applying the physics laws or the mathematics. But yes, in chemical engineering, maths and physics are not that much involved as compared to the chemistry. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
one should be good enough and has command on the subject or the core topics of mathematics and physics, such as the integration, the derivation, the complex problem solving, the analysis of a physical problem, physics relating any problem, any
Mm-hmm.
the laws of energy and mass conservation. That are the most important concepts in chemical engineering. And we have to
Mm-hmm.
apply all of them in our, including major subjects like in stoichiometry and thermodynamics. We have to apply the laws of energy and mass conservation. So if a student is very good in physics, he will perform in chemical engineering, like his understanding will be much better than a student who is not as good in physics or math in general.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing that. But then I would like to ask another question that's similar to this one. That you said in the very beginning that even though chemical engineering is not strictly chemistry, but there are still a little bit of aspects of chemistry that you still need to be able to, that you still need to be good at, right? Uh, Within chemical engineering, what were the few chemistry subjects that you had to study as a bachelor student?
As an undergraduate student, we have to study the chemical process industries. It was the
Mm-hmm.
subject covering the major chemical industries, including urea manufacturing, the ammonia manufacturing, the
Mm-hmm.
cement industry, the petrochemical and petroleum side. So the concept of the industries were accumulated into a book, which was then provided to us, and the teacher taught us a subject of chemical process industry. Beside that, there was organic and inorganic chemistry, specially designed for the basics before moving on to the process industries. And then we have studied the chemical reaction engineering, in which the different type of reactors and reactions and reaction chemistry
Mm-hmm.
was highly involved. So chemistry is like a backbone of chemical engineering. But the main difference between chemical engineering and the chemistry is that chemical engineering is actually the practical application of what chemists do in a lab.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can say that chemical engineers also do research, but yes, a chemist provide the research background for a particular invention of a chemical, or either he has invented any, or he has discovered any element or any mineral, or he has made a new compound. Then he provides the whole laboratory mechanism of that chemical. After
Mm-hmm.
that, a chemical engineering has a task to make it that product from lab, to bring out that product from lab to the commercial scale. Either it has an application in the future in the household or domestic application, or for another industry.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Uh, but then I have to ask, was your degree more mathematical based or was it more lab based?
It was more lab based. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the math was concerned, math was involved in calculation of like in our projects, in our semester assignments, or in our exams.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the lab work was we have a lot of tasks related to the lab work, and we usually had about 3 to 4 labs during our each semester. and it was like about 2 to 3 hours of lab each day.
Amazing. Perfect.
So we can
Thanks.
say, I can say that we have spent about one third time of our degree in labs.
Amazing. And engineering is all about hands-on applications, right? So you have to be in the lab to test everything out. Unless you can't really learn engineering, you can't call yourself an engineer if you haven't really been in the mud and played around with your own hands. But
Exactly.
thank you so very much for sharing all the information about your education.
Thank you for listening. And if you have not done so already, remember to become a free member at Chemical Engineering Life. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more upcoming podcasts with chemical engineers. Thank you and have a great day.